Cheap Not Broke fam, thank you for tuning back into the channel. Please hit that like button, that subscribe button. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. Each and every subscription helps. Hit that button. Cheap Not Broke fam, it's Monday. We're back. Welcome back to the show. Hope you all had a good weekend. Hope you had a good Halloween. Hope you ate all that candy and got your teeth bad. You got to find yourself at the dentist. That's not what you want to do. Thank you all for tuning back in. If it's your first time, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're coming back, thank you for coming back. You are very much appreciated. Each and every one of you is very much appreciated. And tonight, what are we talking about? Now, I know most people on here have never been to jail, never going to see jail. However, people don't really understand the business of jail. See, we think people commit crimes, they go to jail, we're all safe. No, jail is business. Everything is business, and people are always making money. If you ever look at a system and wonder, like, man, this is corrupt, this is wrong, why is this so bad? Ask yourself how much money that system is making and who's affected by it. Then you'll see what's going on. Listen, the top class, the people with all the money, the people with all the lawyers, they don't put themselves in bad situations. They don't have situations where, we're going to be set back, we're going to be put back by anything. So if a system seems like it's not working, it's not benefiting the people at the top, or it's not hurting the people at the top, or it's making a lot of money. All right. So that's what we're going to get into. Does jail cost you a lot of money? Yes, it does. I don't think I watched this video on YouTube. It was by the New York Post. And they were saying it was the video was about. I'll put in the description. The video was about how much money it really costs you to go to jail, and I had no idea. You have to pay to go to jail. When you go to jail, it's cost associated with it. You're not just going to jail, and going through the system, getting out, and there's no fees. No, because you got to think about it. Fees are punishment. What happens? They levy fines and fees against you. That is a form of punishment. So not only do they take your freedom, they levy some fines against you too, and you got to pay that stuff. So we're going to get into all of that tonight. But first, before we do, make sure you vote tomorrow. If you haven't already voted, please make sure you head out tomorrow. Tomorrow's a heavy day. Look, presidential election's been going on since everybody was born, so I don't know. Nothing to stress. I'm not going to stress it. Not going to worry about it one bit, because there's nothing I can do except vote. All I can do is vote and let that be that. So make sure you go vote. Make sure you sign up, get out there and vote. Do what you got to do. It's very important to vote. All right, let's get into it. So the costs associated with going to jail can widely depend on the jurisdiction, individual circumstances. But here are some of the things that you have to pay for when you go to jail. Now, a lot of people think, oh, man, you only thinking about bond. You got to bond now. No. Anytime you go to jail or you have to deal with the court, you got to pay court fees, court costs. Court don't run by itself, and taxpayers aren't paying that. You are. Some of the costs that are associated with going to jail are bond fees, attorney fees, court fees, fines and restitution, lost income, commissary costs, phone and communication costs, visitation and travel expenses, probation and parole fees, re-entry costs, and child support and family obligations. So just because you go to jail don't mean you don't still have to pay for stuff, and you don't have a job, you're not making money. You might have all kind of stuff going on, and you may not even be in there for like no years. You might spend a week in there, just off some humbug crap, and all this stuff adds up. And even if you're not even guilty of something, you still got to go through the system, and you still got to pay for it. So it still affects you some way, somehow. And that doesn't necessarily mean you're found guilty, because there's some people who've been held in jail for 6-7 months, not found guilty, charges were dropped, they didn't get their job back, they still had to pay court costs, fees, they still lost income. So there's a lot of stuff that goes a lot with going to jail. But jail is business. Jail is big business. People make a lot of money off of this stuff. And I didn't even know now they're trying. You used to hear all the time, oh, people go to jail to get health care. You can go to jail, get your teeth fixed. Not anymore. They're making them pay court. They're making them pay court costs. So associated with that, I got some articles. I got some stuff. I got some good stuff for us tonight. We wanted to look at what, before we get in that, I just want to look at what the attorney fees are, because in different states, you got to pay attorney fees. So even if you didn't do anything wrong, you still need a lawyer. You still got to have somebody help defend you and get you out of it, right? So how much does that cost? What is average attorney fees by state? Well, let's take a look at it. If you have any situation now, like I say, this is not always criminal. Sometimes you got civil problems. That's just people want your money and your property. That's a whole other situation. But average state, here are the average fees by year. Average hourly attorney fees rate 2023, 2022, 21, and average lawyer attorney fee on the low end and on the high end. Now, if you want me to look at your state, feel free. Drop a comment. I will pull up your state gladly. We're going to start with number 1. District of Columbia. And 2023 hourly rate for average hourly rate. This is from, what is this from? World Population Review. And these are the average hourly rates. Okay. Although no one wants to be in a situation where they have to consult with an attorney, there are more often than not well worth the expense. From filling out a claim and getting the proper professional defense and protection, you need legal counsel often do so. And this is just regular stuff. Even if you run a business, you still got to run a lawyer. So this is outside of jail. This is just attorney fees. 2023, District of Columbia, $392. 2022, $424, $411. So it looked like it came down. It came down from $392 to $411. On the low end, $250. High end, $400. State of New York. We got to look at New York. New York hourly, excuse me, hourly attorney fee, $358. 2022, $378, $372. California, $344, $358. Now let's see if we can find any divided. Let's see. On the low end, let's go to a lower end state. Idaho. Nobody even goes to Idaho. You know what? You ever went to the airport and seen a flight to Idaho? You have not. But Idaho, if you're in Idaho, you need a lawyer. Average hourly rate is going to cost you $233. Yikes. Okay. Tennessee, Wisconsin, $237. So let's see. South Dakota, $199, and the cheapest is Virginia, $162. Alaska, Hawaii, Indiana, they don't have these fees for 2023. That's dang. $162. And then on the low end, let's get rid of that. On the low end, it's $100. On the high end, $300. And let's go back up to the top. On New York, on the low end, $100. On the high end, $400. So $100 an hour. All right, I don't know what all they got to do for you, but look, attorneys cost. You got to pay money, and hey, you got to deal with them sometimes, some way, somehow. If you're running a business, whatever the case, you got to deal with them, and that's where it goes. So these are average prices of attorneys. Now, these people, now you're like in jail or something. Like you might get in and out. That's not gonna cost you. But what about the people? What about P. Diddy? How much is his lawyers costing him right now? He's probably well into the multi-million dollars, multi-millions, and he's still in there, paying money. So, hey, but anyway, so these are the average lawyer fees, and then, depending on what type of situation you have, the lawyer fees, the fees can range, and different things cost different amounts of money. So I listed all the things that are associated with going to jail. Now, this is some of the costs that go with it. Bail and bonds and fees. You go to jail, you got to bond out. You don't want to stay there. If you can get out, you got to get out. For misdemeanors, bails can range between $500 and $2,000. For felonies, it can range between $5,000 and $50,000. That's a lot of money. Now, I think you have to pay like 10% of that, so you don't pay all that. You don't have to pay the whole thing. That's what I'm saying. Bail bond fees. If you utilize a bail bondsman, the non-refundable fee is typically 10%, 15% of the total amount. Right, but that's still something you got to pay. Attorney fees. I just went over those. Criminal defense attorney fees charged between $100 and $500 an hour, with an average around $200, $300 an hour. Right, and they charge you for all kind of stuff. They charge you for typing stuff up. They charge you for all kind of different things. So it's all kind of different things that you got to pay for. But look, let me share that with you. Let me share the screen with you so we can all see together. All right. Boom. Okay, so all right, attorney fees. Like I said, $100 between $500, average rate around $200 to $300. Flat fees, straightforward cases, between $1,500 and $30,000. Straightforward case. I don't know what a straightforward case. I'm not in the law. I'm not in the law, but I know it all costs money. I don't know. $1,500, $30,000. That's a lot of money. Court fees. These can include filing fees, administrative costs, fines, and totaling. And this is just you got to deal with the court at all. You ain't nothing to do with jail. You just got to deal with the court. You got to pay. Look at that. You get a speeding ticket. There's court costs associated with that. $500, $2,000. Those amounts can range between higher. That's why they write speeding tickets, because court makes money, the police make money, goes towards the retirement. Everybody's getting money. Fines and restitution. Fines for criminal conviction can range between $100, 100 minor offense, and tens of thousands of dollars serious crimes. Restitution payments to victims vary based on harm. So that means restitution. You got to pay these people back. They got to get their money. You cause them harm, you got to pay. Lost income is incarceration often leads to job loss. For example, individuals earn $50,000 annually will lose approximately $4,000 per month if incarcerated. Yikes. Commissary, phone costs, visitation expenses, probation, and that's something I didn't know. Monthly supervision fees can range between $30 and $100, accumulating to $360 to $1,200 annually. So if you're on probation, you got to pay for that. Who knew? You got to pay to be on probation, and you got to pay for the ankle monitor. Wow. Listen, America's running a whole business. America is running a whole damn business about people. You think, oh, British, we're trying to keep our streets safe. They're making money off of you. Making money off of you. Our community often treats jail like going to college. I feel blessed to know more about computer science than the criminal process. Absolutely. You should know more about computer science than criminal process. And the point of this show is not to talk about anybody going to jail. This is to talk about how business works and why things are the way they are. Well, why is crime? What about the crime rate? Crime rate makes money. If there's no crime, court can't make any money, right? Lawyers make money, courts make money, everybody's making money. Now, you criminals sitting their ass in jail. But here's the thing: even if you have a situation where you didn't do anything wrong, you're still innocent. That doesn't mean you're free. You're free of jail. You're not free of costs. You still got to pay. Still got to pay. Going to jail will cost you. Your life can't afford a job means ended up homeless. Exactly. And that's my point. We're going to get into that. We're definitely going to get into that. A lot of people who are homeless have been to jail. They've been to jail. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people who are homeless got out of jail. Can't get a job. Can't get an apartment. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with that? There's nothing you can do with that. Nothing at all. So, and I was getting into the video as I was doing my research about this. I said, damn, I had no idea. Like, yes, every step of the way, you got to pay something. And then you're coming out with no job. You can't get a job. You'll go back to jail if you can't pay. They will put you back in jail if you cannot pay. It is a thing. It is a thing. So, all right. Now, let's see. Now, let's look at some of the stuff. Look at some of the things that are associated with costs, because some of these things that you go to jail for cost you money. It costs you money. And look, you've seen it time and time and again in America. You don't necessarily have to do anything wrong, right? Even if you get a speeding ticket and they waive it. Oh, get a speeding ticket. Okay, great. You still got to pay something. It's still going to cost you some money. And it's really more about the criminal justice is more about the money than justice. Justice is money. Prison is a billion-dollar industry. Unfortunately, you can invest in companies that own private prisons. It's true. It's true. It's true. You can invest in prison. Because look, think about a prison. A prison has food. A prison has bed sheets. A prison is it's a community. So they have to have things. They got food coming in and out. They got transportation. They got medical. They got all kind of stuff in there. And they're making money. They're running a whole damn business. People look at prison as punishment. Prison is business to somebody else. Prison is a whole business. Prisoners can't vote, have a ton of debt, etc. Oh yeah, the debt. It's gonna wind up just because you're in jail don't mean you're not racking up no bills, and they're not gonna get you're not gonna get the money back. I mean, they're putting debt on these people like they're gonna pay it back. I don't see it happening. Going to jail is easy to avoid, not a requirement in life. It is true to easy to avoid. It is true to easy to avoid. However, some people got wrong case, wrong time. But we'll get into a second, because listen, I don't know if you know about this, but protester. I was listening to a video about a protester. Somebody was out there protesting, which is their right, got arrested. How much that cost? How much? Nobody thinks about that. We put all these protesters in jail, court fees. They got to bail out. Money. Money, money, money. It will cost you money and time. Time is priceless. You're damn right it is. You're not getting it back. You're not getting it back. I have integrity. I refuse to invest in prison system. It's soon to be illegal to do that. Yeah, as soon as they're phasing it out. Private prisons is getting phased out because this is not good for business. And let's be real. It's not making money like it used to. If it was making a lot of money, they would keep it doing. People have found out what they got going on. They're not happy about it, and they're not going to do it like they used to. All right, let's get into some of these crimes and how much they cost you. Because we don't think about that. When you think about a crime, you think about, oh, that's just crime. Crime is associated with a cost, which is funny. Now before we get into all that, let's look at this. Now here I am. I'm about to run through all these crimes and offenses that cost money, right? Where can I find a list to show you how much you would pay for health care? How much is a broken arm? How much is a broken finger? How much is a rash? You don't know. You don't know, but here you can figure it out. Okay, these are approximate costs. Our guide on bail amounts by crime shows average bail amounts you will see in different crimes, both felonies, misdemeanors. Our experts go into detailed explanation how much bail is. So this is basically how much if you have a crime, it's how much it will cost you to get out. Violating a restraining order bail amount, $15,000. Controlled substance for possession, $500, $250, $2,500. Second offense up to $10,000. Higher bail amounts distributing substance, altering labels, or mixing substances in beverages. Cost $2,500. DUI or DWI, $500, $2,500. I've known them to cost way more than that. I don't know if that's true. Second offense, $10,000. I've known the first offense to be $10,000. At least in the state of California, first offense range like $10,000. Third offense, $15,000 and limitation on driving rights. Fourth offense, $50,000 and turns from misdemeanor to a felony. Causing bodily injury, $25,000. Gross negligence, $100,000 and a felony. So drinking and driving, you think you're just gonna go to jail, man? You get slapped with $100,000 bill. That change your life, change your whole life. Public intoxication, $200, $500. If a repeat offender could come with an additional release stipulation such as alcohol prevention, treatment, and drug testing. Now, here's the thing about drug testing. Who you think got to pay for that? You do. They making money off of you. We're going to have you drug test twice a week or once a month, and we're going to get money off of it. All of this is making money. All of this. Protesting. This is what I was going to get at. Protesting 100 to 100,000. Wide bail amounts range, though the amount will depend on the exact charge against the protester. No such thing as a flat bail amount for protesting. 77% of protesters are accused of nonviolent misdemeanors, with most common charges being violation of curfew and emergency orders. So, what does that mean? What does that mean? Now, let's just think about this. Conspiracy, maybe. Okay, so we got something coming up. Black Lives Matter, whatever the case. Well, before we go out there, we're going to charge them with this because we know if we charge them with this, it causes this amount of money. So, let's say they charge you with this particular crime. Now, this is for bail. But you don't think the police decide to say, well, if we arrest all these people, we can also make about $500,000 a night off court costs and fees because everybody that gets locked up got to pay. You probably got to pay to get out, which is the bond, and you got to pay the court costs because you got to come back and deal with the court. So they're making money. Petty theft, $500. Murder. No bails allowed for any murder cases. Attempted murder, $500,000. Willful and premeditated murder, $1 million, which will cost you $100,000 in bail to get out. Soliciting murder, $100,000, $1 million. Second degree murder, being an accessory to a murder, $500,000. Manslaughter, we don't get into that stuff. Carjacking up to $100,000. So they got a long list of stuff. Marijuana arrest, $20,000. Evading arrest. They got a long list of stuff. So hey, all crime is associated with a cost, and we are thinking about they're just trying to keep you safe. No, they're absolutely not. They are not. If you have common sense and think of the consequences in advance, don't use drugs, don't drink, you'll be likely to avoid jail. Yeah, you'll likely avoid jail. But even to jail, it's not about jail. It's just dealing with the court. Speeding tickets, anything dealing with the court. And not even just with that stuff. It's all about fees, and licenses. That's about making money. Think about it. You get a license. You get your license one time. You test for it, you can drive the rest of your life. But some of these other licenses for like certain businesses, you have to renew every year. They're making the money. It's another fee. It's another way to get the money about you. All crime pays. Crime pays. Crime is big business. And these people, you're in jail. You got to pay for commissary. So you're having to you need stuff. You need resources. You got to pay for that. You got to pay for that. Now I found this other article. How much can a prisoner have in his account? Prisoner can only have like $300. But here's the funny thing about this stuff. I'm gonna show you. Let's look at this real quick. I thought this was interesting because this is a deterrent. This was used as a deterrent. All right, how much can a prisoner have in his account? But like JoJo said, hey, if you do the right thing, avoid jail, you're straight. You're straight. So most people ain't going to jail. I mean, no. Prisoners are issued personal inmate accounts to manage their money. When incarcerated, the money comes from a few main sources. Gifts from family and friends, wages. Prisoners don't make no money. Government benefits, Social Security continues while incarcerated and can be deposited in accounts. Oh, wow. So you can still get Social Security and still get your retirement while you're in jail. Who knew that? Sales of goods. And for some facilities, prisoners can sell goods like arts and crafts, add profits to their accounts. While prisoners can receive money in their accounts from approved sources, there are strict limits on how much they can accumulate. Each state has its own limits. Federal prisons can only have $290 in there. So like put some money on my books. Well, you only have $290 on there. I don't know what all you can buy. But apparently they try to restrict the money because they don't want people buying all this other stuff. Like you got like $1,000 in there. You can buy drugs. You can buy all kind of stuff. So the less money you have, the less things that you can buy. And that's why they try to restrict all this stuff in jail. Now, this is all to say. All this to say is this, that whether you go to jail or not, whether you're in court or not, hey, the criminal justice system is a business. It is a business. It is in America's best interest to keep putting people in jail. Your state, your county, we're going to keep locking people up because we make money. Because some of these programs, some of these court costs, they fund retirement. They fund retirement for the judges. They fund retirement for the police officers. They fund retirement for the clerks. It goes towards their pension fund. So if they don't have nobody to lock up and not put nobody in jail, they're not making this money. You can just make this money. You can avoid courts by paying them tickets online. Use Uber instead of better and get a passport. Don't hang out in the hood and travel. Don't hang out in the hood. That's hilarious. You can go to jail anywhere. You don't have to be in the hood to go to jail. You go to jail anywhere. It doesn't matter. Listen, this is America. This is America. You don't have to do anything. That's the thing that people have a misconception. You don't have to do anything wrong to go to jail. Oh, I didn't do anything wrong. Okay, cool. Well, you tell that police officer that when he's dragging your ass in jail. Because like I said, you don't have to hang out in the hood. But we all know there's different colors of people in here. Listen, if you're white, you're safe. White people, most white women are never going to go to jail. But other people, you can go to jail for damn near anything. You can go to jail. If you don't believe it, tell the police that when they're dragging your ass to jail. That's just how it goes. Anything can happen. There's a lot of people who, listen, do your research. If you do your research, there are a lot of people who've been locked up for stuff that they didn't do. Here's a case in point. Hertz is being sued right now because Hertz was having normal people renting cars that turned them in. They were turning in police reports that said these cars were stolen. These people are arrested and put in jail for a couple of days, all because of Hertz. This was Hertz's fault. Now you're minding your business. All you did was rent a car from Hertz. That's all you did. But here, 6-7 months later, you get arrested because they said you got a car stolen. Now you got to go out to the scrap to prove it. Now, yes, you get to go through a lawsuit, but once again, did you do anything wrong? No, but they still took your ass to jail and they made some money off of you. So it's not always about, you didn't do anything wrong. These corporations, these people are looking to put people in jail. And who do they put in jail? They put poor people in jail who can't afford to get out. Most people in jail don't have a lot of money. Poor people. You don't have a lot of rich, wealthy people in jail. They know people. They can get people. They got ways to get out. It's tough when a prisoner gets out and try to reform. Some of those court costs prevent them from easily reforming. I don't think it's about. There is no prisoner reform. Why would we want to reform you if we can keep making money off of you? If we can keep you on an ankle bracelet making money, if we can get you on a ankle monitor making money, you got to pay parole fees. They're making money off of you. You got to pay for all this stuff. All this stuff costs money, man. Everything is business. America is a business. And that's why you got to understand how everything works. So you're not getting caught up in all this BS. Even student loans is a business. It's all business. It's all business. And people don't really know this stuff. They don't know that when you're dealing with the cops, when you're dealing with the courts, that funds their retirement. They have pensions. They have to pay it somehow. These people get retirements. They work for 20 years, they retire. How do they fund it? How do they fund it? When you have to pay a lot of things in prison, for instance, I used to put money on my cousin's books because she needed it, transportation, hospital, and for her cancer treatments. Right. You do have to. That is another thing I wasn't aware of. If you do have a medical situation in prison, you got to pay a copay. You got to pay a copay because look, they got all this medical staff and all this medical equipment. They got staff. They got to get paid too. And that's why a lot of prisons went private, because the state got tired of paying for it. State said, look, state paying for it, state's going to use tax dollars. That's how they do it. Private prisons, they're making money off of it. They're charging the prisoners. And then think about the company that's providing the bed sheets. You got the food. Some companies providing the food. Some company, everything. All this stuff. The prison has to run. It's a running function in business. And people got to pay for it. People got to pay for it. So, yes, best bet to stay out of jail. But just know, when you're dealing with the courts, all this stuff is about the money. It's all about the money. Even once you get out of jail, you still got to pay some money. Get a speeding ticket, you got to pay some money. Driver's license, you got to pay some money. All of it. All of it's about the fucking money. But how do you do this? Now, cheap not broke. How do you avoid all this stuff? Well, one, you got to know crime costs. You got to know crime does not pay. Crime costs. They used to say crime doesn't pay. No, it doesn't pay. Crime will cost you. Now, you want to make some money. Now, it end up costing you all this money. Restitution, fees, all this other stuff. But they don't tell you this. You just watch the show. You see all this other stuff on TV. You just assume, oh, we're locking up the bad guys. Well, when the bad guy gets out, bad guy owes $10,000. Bad guy can't get no job. Bad guy goes back to doing what he was doing. Bad guy's in jail now, again, owing more money. And the cycle continues. Cycle continues. It's tough when prisoners get out of prison. Oh, yeah. So, that's what it is, y'all. That's what it is. Stay out of jail. Of course, I don't know if most people aren't going to jail. But it does cost you. It does cost you. And look, it has an impact on your family and friends. And even if it's not you, you might have a loved one in there. Like Miss Phyllis Hall just said, you might have a loved one in there, and you have to send money, cancer treatments. You got to put money in the book so they can eat, because you're still worried about them. Yeah, they might have did something wrong. They're still a human being, and you still care about them, worry about them. Not everybody need to commit no horrible, heinous crime, but some people have family members in jail, and you have to. And who burdens the cost for it? The phone calls, the money on the books. The family burdens the cost of that. And a lot of the families are having to pay a lot of this money too. So it's not just on the prisoners. They know the families got money, so the families are always putting in money on the books, and they raise the price of everything. How much you think stuff costs in prison? A lot, because they know you don't have nowhere else to buy it from. And they know you got a family out there that got money. So they raise the prices on it, and you keep on paying. You keep on paying. I think some people believe all prisoners are bad people. Some people do make bad decisions and deserve an opportunity for change, except they come out in debt. That's true. Everybody thinks that everybody in jail is a bad person. Not necessarily. Not true. Not true. But that's what TV shows you. TV shows you everybody on jail is a bad person. Nah, some people are in jail because they didn't pay child support, because they lost their job. Listen, America is a debtor's prison. You do not have to commit a crime against a person to go to jail. Just don't have the money. If you don't have the money, you're going to jail. That's it. Be poor. If you're poor in America, you're probably going to jail. Bottom line. If you can't pay, you're going to jail. They're going to lock you up. Some of these fees that you can't pay, if you can't pay some of these fees, some of the conditions of your release is you're going back to jail if you can't pay. Don't pay your taxes. Going to jail. That's it. You're going to jail. So, and they're going to make some more money off of you while you're in there. America is a debtor's prison. If you're in debt and you can't pay, they lock you up. Fact, don't pay your speeding ticket. They'll put a warrant out for you. What? I didn't do anything wrong. I was just driving my car too fast. Nah, it's not this. It's not driving too fast was the crime. The fact that you didn't pay. That is the crime. The crime is that you didn't pay. So, just be cognizant of this stuff. Think about it. Think about it. Just be cognizant of it. Like I said, it's not about anybody going to jail. It's not anybody being a bad person. It is why does crime happen the way it happens in America? Because they're making money. That's why. Making money. It's beneficial. And you lock up a bunch of poor people who can't afford anything. There you go. They're making money off of you. Follow me at Cheap Not Broke. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Head over to cheapnotbroke.com. Head over to cheapnotbroke.com. Grab yourself a t-shirt, a beanie. Grab yourself some of that merch. What was that? Why are prisons in the middle of nowhere? Many people don't know that some of the prisons fund the whole town, and without the prison system, the town would be a ghost town. That is a fact. I'm glad you brought that up. That's why prisons are usually here's why prisons are in the middle of nowhere. To add to that point, a lot of prisons are in the middle of nowhere because they know they can get subsidies. Well, look, y'all don't really have nothing going on. If we provide a prison here, a lot of people can work here. We provide jobs, we provide resources, so people come work in the prisons. All right? And that's what they do. That's why the prisons go in there. And then I think in some states, prisoners are counted as citizens. So citizens, they're counted in, not citizens, but they're counted in the population. So you got the private prison there. You got an extra 5,000 people there. The city, county can get more resources. There you go. But I've noticed what's happening in California. A lot of the private prisons are not getting their contracts renewed. And which does create a problem because, like Josh said, the jobs go away. There's nowhere for these people to work. So yes, it's good and bad. Yeah, the private prison go away. So, they're not trying to lock as many people up because some of these prisons have minimum requirements. They have to keep so many beds full. It's crazy, but that's how that works. That's how it works. It's a real thing. All right, everybody. Private prison. We can go on for enough about this stuff, but hey, everything in America, if you think a system is jacked up in America and it's not going right, ask yourself, how much money is it making? Who's it making money for? Because even when people are killed by the police, the city gives out millions of dollars. They admit no wrongdoing and it happens again. Why? The city, wait a minute. Does the city have this in budget? We'll look into that. We'll get into that another night. But right now, we're gonna get on into some interesting news. We're gonna get into interesting news. A lot of interesting news tomorrow. Interesting news. Election day. I'm thinking about going live tomorrow. Thinking about going live during the election tomorrow. So let me know. Let me know what y'all think. If y'all want to go live. If you want to go live tomorrow, drop a comment, and we may go live tomorrow. All right. Right now, let's go to interesting news. But first, word from our sponsor.
Hit the like and subscribe button and go to cheapnotbroke.com.
All right, it is time for interesting news. Okay, first story of the night is JP Morgan Chase denies $331. $331. Let me put it up here because these are slime balls. So nasty. Such evil people. JP Morgan Chase denies $331. Get your ass out the way. Denies a $331 monthly pension to employees. Widow claims she lacks necessary documentation. JP Morgan has refused to pay out the estimated $331 a month pension to a widow of one of the bank's former longtime employees with the execs that he failed to fill out the necessary paperwork before his untimely death. The post learned. Melvin, who worked for a decade as a system analyst for Chase Manhattan Bank until 1979, died expectedly at the age of 43 in 1988. From multiple organ failure, Chase Manhattan went to merge with JP Morgan in 2000. Ellen Silberg, 73, told the Post that she has been battling with Wall Street giant for more than 13 years to recover her late husband's pension pot following her own retirement. She was just 37 at the time of Mel's death, which left her to raise their 3 kids alone. Officials of Social Security Administration estimate the untapped account be worth $331 a month, according to a letter said Mel's widow by the federal agency reviewed the audit. If Jamie Dimon were aware of this, he would wish to do the right thing and honor the pension. Silverberg pointed to the Post. Well, we hope so. But that just shows you, look how big these corporates, just $331 a month. That's nothing. That's not hurting nobody. Now, I get it. You got to have the paperwork and all that. But the lady, listen, lady hard up for money. The lady's hard up for money. The lady is hard up for money. And there's a lot of people that when you get elderly, it's hard for you to work. You can't go get a new job. You can't get any new skills. You need this money. You need this money. And she can't get it. And that happened. Now, let me tell you something else. I don't know if you know a lot of these other companies, they fire people. Let me tell you, let me get it right now. They have fired people 19 years in before you're 20, before they get their pension. And and the pension is gone. There is no law against this. So that pension is up in smoke. What do you do about that? You work for somebody 19 years, or the company gets sold and bought out, because sometimes the companies will restructure because they know, well, if we restructure, we're not going to be on the hook for those pensions. They do this, and all these people are out there pension. They've been working their whole life depending on that pension, and they never get it. And those towns are usually mostly white. Oh yeah, for sure. You talking about where the private prisons are? Yeah, 100%. Voting for the couch. Both president candidates are trash, but I did vote locally. Only ones I know about. Yeah, voted. All these sundown towns are pro-Trump. Half jails are pro-Trump. Yep, I agree, man. Listen, and that's that, man. Look, you don't want to get caught in so many. You've seen movies, you heard about it. You get caught up in some of these little towns, man. It will be hell in high water for you to get out. You're gonna have to spend a lot of money. Yeah, some places you just don't want to get caught up. You don't want to get caught up. Some places you don't want to get caught around like that. That's just not what you want to do. It's not what you. I hope this lady gets her pension. It's a damn shame that multi-billion-dollar corporation is making it hard for her to get their money. And another thing, bam, here we go. I know another thing we don't think about. A lot of people aren't considering the presidential election. Yes, it's all coming up. How much money has been made? Because you got to think about this. Look at all those ads, all those smear campaigns. Fox Corp shares soar as record ad boom ahead of elections helps revenue beats sale. I don't know about this either. I don't know if people think about this as well, but the presidential election is about a money grab. People make tons and tons of money. How much money do you think all these networks have made on all these campaigns? You know you got to spend the money, like the Trump and Kamala. The presidential campaigns, the smear campaigns. How much you think those cost? A lot of money. Lots and lots of money. Probably millions of dollars. Fox is raking in the money. So they love it. And all this is making big business. Now, we're sitting out there concerned about votes, as you should. But on other levels, once again, it's business. They're making money. So all the news networks, they're all concerned. They're going to run this 24 hours a day. They're going to start tonight. They're going to start running this stuff tonight. They're going to run this 24-hour day. It's a huge payday for them. Huge payday. So for the last 6-7 months, they've been running all these ads. Everybody's making a whole bunch of money. All this is about the brand. It's all about money. It's all about money. It's all about money. It's all about money. We're sitting around thinking, it's about the laws and, who you really vote for. And Fox News, NBC, ABC, they're sitting up there counting the checks. And then when you look at the campaigns, it's like, you got to be a dumbass to believe this. Like everything would. Kamala Harris is for transgender men getting sex changes. Nobody care about that. That's the most important issue on the ballot? Really? You heard nothing about gun control. Not one peep about gun control. You just got people sending their kids to school all the time. Nothing about gun control. Heard anything about that? No, you have not. Heard anything about AI and protecting people's jobs? No. What are going to be the laws around all this AI and all this new technology? How is that going to look for everybody? We know it's coming. Are there any laws that's going to protect anybody? No. What about laws about data privacy? Then selling your data. How did everybody get your damn phone number to ask you to vote in the first place? How did that happen? No data privacy, right? Did anybody wonder, how did they get my phone number? Why are they texting me? Nothing about that. So real issues, nobody's talking about that stuff. The real issues. Gun control is always got to be an issue. Nobody. How much you think the NRA paid not to get their name brought up? We're paying not to get brought up. We're paying we don't want to get hurt. So everybody's paying for their own interest, and everything that they're talking about is non-tangible. Of course, abortion rights is big. That's a huge thing, but The bill already passed. So now what? Oh, we're gonna leave it up to the states. That's crap. It's all a sham, man. It's all a sham. But all this is to say is about money. Understand it. Look at it as a business. When sometimes I don't understand everything. Like, why is it like this? I have to go back, take a step back, and look at it as a business. Oh, this is making money. This is why this continues to happen this way. This is not bad. Like the way police treat people is not bad because it's making money for somebody. Because if it was costing them money, they wouldn't do it. I mean, the fact that when you kill people, when you kill black people, these people get $4 or $5 million checks and you never hear from them again. Never. You got to sign that NDA. You never hear from them again. They admit no wrongdoing, and that's the end of it. Happens again. So great. So how much is being made? If it costs you $4 million, how much are you making off of this? Because the city's not about to just be out here cutting checks for this. I'm gonna get into that later. That's gonna be a whole nother rabbit hole we're gonna go down. But bottom line is this: jail is business. Jail is big business. That's why they lock people up so much. That's why it's always in. That's why people are always locking folks up. Even the mug shot. How much you think that is? People making money off of that. They sell your mug shot. The people, the news people, they're down at the jails hanging out, catching news stories, selling the story. Look at the Menendez brothers. Not until Netflix got involved, we weren't thinking about these people. You didn't care nothing about them. Now Netflix gets involved, made some money off the TV show. They're about to get out. Now, I don't know if you watched the show. If it's true, if you watch the show, didn't they admit to what they did on the tapes? Didn't they say none of this really happened? We just made it up? I don't know. If it didn't really happen, why they got to put in jail in the first place? I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. Tomorrow, election night. I might get on here tomorrow. I'm probably going to come on here tomorrow and talk a little bit about the election. Keep up. Why not? It's only once every 4 years. So probably going to get on. Look out for that. Look out, see if I go live tomorrow talking about the election. It's important stuff. Make sure you go vote locally. Vote locally. Vote for your own interests. Vote for what's best for you and your family. Don't vote. Just, hey, whatever's best for you may not be best for the next person. And that is A-okay. And that's how it is. All right? Now, I know nobody on Cheap Not Broke is going to jail because we're going to be back on here tomorrow. We're going to go live tomorrow. I'm probably going to go live. I wouldn't talk about it if I wasn't going to do it. Probably going to go to live tomorrow, talk about the election. Get on here a few minutes, see what's at, see what's going on with that, all right? Everybody. I always take sleeping pills on election night. Too much anxiety. Yeah, I really don't care. I really don't care who wins because, listen, somebody made a great point. You don't put a new president to change. You put a new president in to keep things the same. You're not about to come in, like no president has came in there and done anything radical. Like you're not going to do anything radical. You're not going to do anything radical. You're just not. The president's going to keep whether it's Trump, whether it's Harris, it don't matter. Things are going to get the same. They're still going to be sending money everywhere else but here. The school system's not changing. The federal minimum wage has not increased. They don't teach financial literacy in schools, and they want you to stay in consumer debt. Gun control laws haven't changed. So you tell me what the hell is going to change? Nothing. But that don't mean you shouldn't go vote. Vote for your own local. Now, local stuff will change. Local stuff changes overnight. All the laws take effect in January. January 1, everything goes into effect. So there you go. We'll see you tomorrow. Cool. See you tomorrow. All right. Me neither. Most candidates are selected to be elected. Exactly. Yeah, because think about it. Popular vote. We know who won. We know who we wanted to win. Electoral college, that's who we wanted to win. So the people pick popular vote, electoral college, that's who they pick. That's who they pick. All right, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Head over to my comedy channel, Malcolm Hall Comedian. Malcolm Hall Comedian on YouTube. You can find all my stand-up comedy, all that good stuff there. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube, YouTube. Oh, shit. Excuse my French. We are now on Spotify and iTunes. So if you got Spotify, you can watch the show. I mean, it's the older shows, but I'm going to get caught up. But I'm putting all the shows on Spotify. So we're going to be on Spotify, iTunes, and everywhere where you can get your podcast. Yes, so I now will be everywhere that you can get your podcast. So please check me out on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, TikTok, everywhere where you can type in Cheap Not Broke. You will find me, and I will be creating some value for you. Remember, Live life at your price. Live life at your price. Don't pay what they want to pay. Pay what you want them to pay. All right? And tomorrow, we're back. Thank you all for tuning in. Take care. Go vote. Good night.